Hi everyone, I hope you're doing so well. I am back again giving you the content, doing the Lord's work. I hope you are doing well. Thank you for clicking onto this video and like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff, and you just do the right thing, please. Okay, I'm trying to grow my YouTube channel this year. Like this year I'm just gonna be lalela consistent, and I'm gonna be throwing you the content. I'm gonna be giving you more tips and advice if there is any to still give. And yeah, lady in red with the red wine, cling cling. I had to take a sip. Let me sip kokugcina. Robertson's, I'm your biggest customer. This is amazing. Again, oh sorry for touching the mic. I need to add, I didn't plan this video, so everything is just gonna be all over the place. I'm just gonna wing it, but I did take down some notes. Right. So today I'm going to be giving you, well, not tips, but helping you on how to write your in-service training report or your WIL report. WIL is work integrated learning, right? So I should let you know that this is how we did it at UJ. Of course, different universities have a different in-service training program, therefore the reports and the structure of the report is going to be different. So this one is UJ and how we were expected to do it at UJ. Maybe you can take some tips and tricks there and there, whichever works for you, please use it. So this is the report that you're going to hand in after you've done your whole 1 year in service training. Excuse me, I think you handed in a month before your end of employment, and then you hand it into your WIL coordinator. Oh, my English. You hand it in to your WIL coordinator, and then they mark you. I'm not sure what they mark you on, and I don't actually think, if we're being honest, you can actually fail this report, because everything in this report is your experience, is your words, it's you, right? Sharp. And I think this video is probably going to be long, right? Because yeah, I just want to say as much as I can and like just give you clarity as much as I can, right? So if it is long, I'll try to cut it and make it a 2-part video, because I don't want one long 30 minutes video. People don't like watching long videos. Sharp. First and foremost, so the structure of the report, right? So you probably would get like an instruction manual on what structure you should use. So this is the instruction manual we got. This is the structure that we followed in our report writing. So the first thing will be the title page. So this is your title, your details, where you write your name, surname, student number, and the title of the report, as well as where you were employed. So that's going to be the title page. Keep it as simple as possible. You can add like a picture, like I added like a logo of the company where I worked. So just the company logo there, somewhere there at the bottom. But it wasn't like a colorful, it was just like a plain, the title must be big, and then your details will be smaller, and then maybe the company logo, just so that it's not boring, but it's not too much as well. That's the title page. The second one is the index, the table of context. So the contents, sorry. So this will be, I don't know if you can see, you probably don't see it, but this is going to be all, sorry about my nail, but I'm not sorry. Why am I sorry? This is going to be all the titles that you're gonna have here. So the table of context, a table of context in Jan, like when you open the first page of a book, it tells you what to expect in the report. Sharp. Number 3 is the introduction. So the introduction is basically, the introduction is going to include, I'll tell you, company, it's an introduction to the company history, what the company does, the products that it produces, and oh yes, we said the company history, and briefly name the products and oh yes, briefly name the products that the company produces, but you will go in more detail about the products in the content. Yabo? Sharp. After the introduction, then you go into the content, right? We'll go into the content just now. After the content is basically just the content of the entire report. And then after the content, you'll have your discussion, which is basically you reflecting on the year, the company itself, your overall experience, and what you learned. And then after the discussion, you have your references. Right. Sharp. Yeah. Okay. Sharp. So we covered the title page and the context, the index. I feel like it's self-explanatory, right? So if you know, when you do a report on a PC, you'll have headings. You'll have headings and then you'll have subheadings, right? So that with the headings and the subheadings, automatically you can do a table of contents. I keep looking at myself here instead of here. I'm feeling myself today. Yeah, Anglal. It's fine. It's good to feel yourself. So let's go into the introduction. Right. So the introduction is going to be the description of the company, right? So you're going to say that the company that I was employed in was whatever, Tando's Bakery, just for argument's sake. I was employed in Tando's Bakery. Tando's Bakery is famous for its world-leading cakes, cupcakes, and muffins. The company was founded by Tando in 1999. With her sister. It started off as a small bakery. Like, you just give the company history. It started off as a small bakery, and then it went on to become, it started off as a small bakery in the kitchen, and then they moved over to buy the first shop in Johannesburg, and then they branched over, and then they bought a factory in Sandton, which is where the factory is now. You know, they make cookies, muffins, they make pastries, croissants, but you don't go into details. You just say they make this. Sharp. Fine. Yeah, so that's the company's, that's the company description. Try to make it as long as possible. Don't just put like an introduction in gaga. We understand. So try to say, this is how I did it. So I said company description. That's the heading. And then I said, I can't say the name of the company, but I said Tando's Bakery is a company under another company called blah 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 blah, called Dlamini Holdings. Dlamini Holdings is has a wide range of brands, such as the bakery, let's say the coffee division, the ice cream division, and the desserts division, for example, right? Tando's Bakery is based in Sandton. This is just an example. It's not really what I wrote. It's based in Sandton with manufacturing facilities in Johannesburg, in Durban, in Pretoria, and in Cape Town, for example, depending on what the company history is. The facility where I was employed is the one based in Johannesburg in Sandton, which deals with the desserts section, right? Because sometimes when you are hired at a company, you'll probably be hired like at a big firm that has many divisions all across South Africa. So you need to state in your introduction when you were employed at the Johannesburg facility, so that obviously the person who's marking will know, oh, okay, Tando worked at the Johannesburg facility, and the Johannesburg facility was the one that was dealing with the bakery section, because most companies will have like a bakery division, the other one maybe in Durban will have the sweets division, the one has the tea division or the coffee division, the one, you know what I mean. Just say which division you were based at and what you guys were producing at that division, right? And then Tando's Bakery has been South Africa's favorite snacks for years. Okay, whatever. The range of biscuits produced include whatever biscuits, this, that, muffins, croissants, you just name them, right? And then you just name all the lines of the biscuits that you made, or all the lines of the cookies, or all the line of the bakery. I'm using a bakery as an example because I was hired at a bakery. Shabuhe, you have that. That's your introduction. And then after company description, I said history. That's where you'll have your history. Where did this begin? Uthando wayiqalaphi, asahlupheka, ethembisa, wavula isiphayiza, bese makavula isiphayiza sakhe. Then she branched out, and then she's got in business with her friend, and then they opened up another branch, and then this and that. All of just that whole entire company history, you write it down there. So on the company's website, or maybe on the, each company has a, what do they call it, a drive, like a central drive. Sorry. Each company has a central drive, like a central drive where all the company's information is stored there. So you can go on that company's drive, or maybe ask, if you don't have access to that drive, ask someone who has the access to give you access to the company's history if it's not already on the website, right? And then if it is already on the website, you can just summarize it in your own words and then reference it. Don't forget to reference it, because it's not your company history, it's not your own words. So when you do that, maybe you'll say, if there's no reference, sometimes like the one I did, our company's history, the one I got, had already like a reference at the bottom that this, it was like an article form, and then this article was written by whoever. So you reference that in text. If there is no that reference, you'll just in text you'll reference the URL. So the www dot that whole address at the top of the page, that whole address, you'll copy and paste that in text to show that you got that article or that company history from that URL, if that makes sense. Sharp. We said company description, history, and now we talk about the products and the product or the services that the company offers. So all of this is now context, the contents, right? So now we're dealing with the contents. And sure, we did title page, the index, we did the introduction. Now we're in the actual contents of the report. So I have a heading that says products and raw materials. If you work for a lab and not a manufacturing company, so if your lab provides a service and not necessarily an actual product that you guys are selling, then you'll just say service offering. The title will just be service offering. But if you're actually making products, you'll say products and raw materials. Sharp. So let's start with manufacturing companies. So if you're in a manufacturing company where you actually make products, you'll then say the range of biscuits that we produced at our sites include, you name them. Remember, you named them in the introduction. Now you'll name them and say, if in the introduction you just said muffins, croissants, cupcakes, here you'll say muffins, in brackets you'll say blueberry muffin, cappuccino muffin, chocolate muffin. You name all the flavors that you guys did. Vanilla muffin, close brackets, comma, croissants. Do croissants have flavors? If you had various croissants, then you'll say whole wheat croissant or low fat croissant or low GI croissant. You'll list them. You'll say croissant, we had a low GI croissant, we had a whole wheat croissant, we had a, you list them, and then you'll say cupcakes, blueberry cupcake, cheesecake cupcake, chocolate cupcake, vanilla cupcake. You'll list all the flavors that, or the variants that the company used. I hope I'm not moving my hand too much, right? Yeah, so you'll list them. You'll list all the lines of products you had, as well as their flavors. You list them, each and every one of them. And more often than not, if it's a huge manufacturing company, it has a lot of flavors. A lot of flavors or variants. It probably does, right? So you'll just list all of them as they are. In addition, we also had the mini sweets, which included jelly beans, jelly babies, you list them, jelly teddies, you list all the flavors, all the variants of the products that facility that you worked at. We're not going to touch on all the other facilities, only the facility where you worked at. Sharp. And then another thing that I added, you don't necessarily have to add this. So where I was working, we used to, okay, so those were the products. Now we go on to the raw materials. Raw materials, same thing. Every single raw material that factory uses, you list. So we had salt. You list every single salt there is. Sugar, all the types of sugars. The flours, all the types of flours. The milks, all the type of milks. I didn't know there were different types of sugars and different types of salts until I wrote this report. So okay, so this is ingredients. This is what I wrote. Let me read for you what I wrote. There is a wide range of raw materials being used which fall under two main categories, which are allergens and non-allergens. So our raw materials were grouped like that: allergens and non-allergens. There are 4 types of allergens, which include milk, eggs, soy, and sesame, right? Ingredients that fall under soy are, you list them: biltong flavor, yeast, fruit flavor, white syrup, cocoa, chocolate, choc chip. Milk ingredients, so that was soy. So the milk ingredients include cheese powder, skim milk, powder, whey milk, white syrup, butter, toasted onion, flavor, spring onion, biltong, butter, whole milk, full cream milk, skim milk. You list them all. Ingredients that fall under sesame are whole pasture sesame. Include sesame seeds. And ingredients under eggs are whole pasteurized eggs. Right. Sharp. Those are allergens. Now you move on to the non-allergens. Non-allergen ingredients are ingredients that do not contain allergens. These are mainly categorized as flour, sugar, salt, oil, flavoring, and seeds. The types of flour include crushed flour, cracker flour, malted barley flour, bran flour, wheat, gluten flour, rolled oats. The types of sugar include dark brown sugar, light brown sugar, honey, glucose syrup, puretic syrup, golden syrup, malt extract, you name them all. The types of salt include sodium bicarbonate, tartaric salt, sodium acid puron, you list them. Types of oil include fat, butter, shortening, you list them all. Sharp. The different types of flavoring include mixed spices, ground ginger, caramel, nutmeg, peppermint, you list all of them. And lastly, the types of seeds we used: linseeds, quinoa, pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds, chia seeds, you list them. Okay, let's stop this video here and then we'll do a part 2.